Hi guys, this is Jason Romero, first and only blind person to run across America and frequent speaker in schools. Thank you for joining me on this three-part series about differences and being different. Episode 1 is going to focus on having a difference, hidden or obvious. Episode number 2 is going to give some tips about interacting with people in their differences and how to make them feel comfortable and for you to be more comfortable. And episode 3, I'm really excited about, which is going to be the eradication of same shame within our own minds and within our communities at large. So thank you so much for your interest in this, and let's listen in on episode number 1. Hi, this is Jason Romero, the first and only blind person to run across America, where I averaged 51.5 miles a day, and my crossing still ranks as one of the top 10 fastest crossings in history. I'm here to talk to you today about hidden disabilities, or as I like to call them, hidden differences. The reason why this is important to me and I'm passionate about this is because I have a hidden difference. I'm actually legally blind. But for all intents and purposes, people don't recognize my difference. And there's some common feelings that come along when we have a hidden difference. And I also have some tips for success for living with and overcoming a hidden difference. And I want to share those with you today. So first, I want to tell you about my hidden difference. I have this eye disease called retinitis pigmentosa. And my symptoms are I have tunnel vision. So I've lost my eyesight. Now I see through a 15-degree tunnel. My visual acuity best corrected is 2200 in this eye and 2400 in this eye. And what that means is for a person with 20/20 eyesight, what they will see at a distance of 200 feet, I need to get 20 feet away from the same object to see the same size image. So I gotta get really close to see the same size image. That basically means I don't see details in people's faces, that type of thing, because otherwise I have to get really close to them. Another symptom is night blindness. So imagine you walk into a dark restaurant, it's pitch black for me. Other people may be able to see different tables, or it's darker, but it's still light enough where you can make your way around and get to a table. For me, it's just pitch black. So I have this hidden difference. Why? Because if you look at me on the screen right now, I look like I can see, like I'm looking right at the camera and I know what's happening. Fact is, with my eye disease degenerative, when I was younger, when I was diagnosed at 14, I could see fairly well. And I understood that you're supposed to look at people when they look to you, attend when they move their head, you move your head to show connection, that you're paying attention, that type of thing. But now I don't see much, and I have this hidden difference. So I'm actually not that unique though, because the fact is we all have hidden differences. Mine is a hidden disability, and some people do have these. Some people have reading differences like dyslexia, variety of learning disabilities. Some people have depression, anxiety, different things like that. Some people have other diseases, like some people have cancer, you don't know they have cancer, or they have diabetes that they're working with, or allergies to food, or there's just so many different differences that we all have, and we all have hidden differences. I think that's the important point for us here. We all go through this journey and walk on this journey. So I want to share 4 common emotions that I've learned and experienced as a result of having a hidden difference and living with hidden differences. Emotion number 1, confusion. We're all going to experience confusion at the beginning of our journey with our hidden difference. And why is this? Because we are actually going to see other people in life doing things that are very difficult for us to do and replicate. And we don't understand why it's so easy for them and why it's so difficult for us. What usually ends up happening with this is we start researching, we gather more information, we talk to other people, maybe we go see a doctor, we end up with a diagnosis, and then we understand what the symptoms are, and we have an understanding for why we're different. If you are at a point right now where you're feeling confused why things are so easy for other people, not as easy for you, you probably have a hidden difference. You need to do some additional research, talk to people, perhaps go see a doctor or a medical specialist, and really identify what that difference is. So confusion is feeling number 1. Feeling number 2 is shame. And this is an interesting feeling that I experienced along my journey. I was different, but I was not obviously different. And what I ended up doing was I ended up pretending like I was the same as everybody else. I had same shame. I wasn't the same, and I was shameful about that. So people thought I could see, and they would say, "Hey, Jason, look at that rock over there. Isn't that pretty?" And I'd be like, I'd look in that direction. I'd say, "Oh yeah." And I would pretend like I saw the rock, but I didn't. Or from across the street, a person would say, "Hey, Jason, how are you doing?" I'd say, "Hey, how are you? Yeah, great to see you." I had no clue who they were. I didn't even know who I was talking to. So I was shameful and I was hiding my difference. The way out of same shame is to change that M in shame to an R. When you do that, shame becomes share. So when you share your shame, when you tell other people about your hidden difference, is when you take the power back from shame. You will relieve yourself and you will liberate yourself from shame. Now be prepared, because when you share your hidden difference with other people, generally speaking, you're going to get one of three responses. One, they're going to be supportive and not know about your difference. They will be very helpful with you, supportive of you, ask how they can help. You'll feel really good. Response number two, the person could be very confused and still need time to process, because you seem to be the same, but you're actually telling me that I'm different. They're going to need to research. You'll need to provide some additional education for them. Response number three, and this will happen, they will be unsupportive. This class of folks, they are just not empathetic people and not compassionate, and you just don't waste your time working with those folks. They've already opted out of your friendship and support circle. Really easy, really simple. But those are the three responses that you will, generally speaking, get when you share your shame. Emotion number three, frustration. When you have a hidden difference, you are going to feel frustrated. Why? Because it's easy for other people to do certain things and experience certain things in life, but it's very difficult for you. I know that I have been riddled with this. I end up in pity parties, feeling very down, very sad because I'm different. I'm frustrated. I don't want this difference. I want to be the same as everybody else. But the fact is, everybody's different with something. So this is just our difference we need to work through. Frustration is going to be a common emotion. It's okay. Don't feel bad about it. It's normal. Everybody is going to feel this way with their differences. But the nice thing is that there's a culminating emotion which liberates you from frustration. And that is the final emotion that we will experience, which is acceptance. And acceptance comes when we accept ourselves for all that we are and all that we aren't. We are all perfectly imperfect. Now, this is important because even if you have a obvious hidden difference or an obvious difference, or we think we're the same as everybody else, everybody needs to come to this point where we need to accept ourselves exactly as we are, with all of our flaws and all of our wonderful attributes and aspects. So acceptance is the final emotion that we will go through. Now I want to turn and give you 4 tips for success for living with a hidden difference and how to be successful. Tip number 1, understand how your hidden difference makes you different. So the way that you're going to overcome this difference is by understanding the symptoms of it. In my case, I have tunnel vision, I have decreased visual acuity, and I have night blindness. So what I need to do is make sure that as I am going about life, I'm scanning around, because I know only see through this tunnel as I'm trying to navigate and ambulate around. I need to let people know that I don't see what they're pointing at and ask for more information. And during dark times, I need to ask for help or bring on additional lighting or somehow find a way through that type of a situation. So when I understand my symptoms of my difference, I'm able to be more successful with my difference. Tip number 1. Tip number 2, embrace your difference. Be proud. Let other people know about your difference. Your difference is your superpower. We are all different and we are all wonderful. So when we embrace the fact that we're different, when we're proud to be different, when we stand up for being different, that's when you're going to be successful. When you're not able to do that for yourself, you know that you still have work to do. Because when you can be proud of your difference, that's when you have the opportunity of you set yourself up to be successful. Pro tip number 3 for being successful with a hidden difference. Come along with me and eradicate same shame. Same shame is a term I have coined for the situation where we feel shameful because we're not obviously the same as everybody else. There may be a sea of yellow ducklings out there and we may be a black duckling. Well, we're not the same as all those yellow ducklings, but guess what? They're not the same as us in some other way either. Eradicate same shame. Be proud of your difference. Tomorrow I will go and run a marathon. And when I run a marathon, I always wear a blind bib. So I have this yellow bib with black letters, very large, that says blind. And as I run the race, I'm telling other people I'm blind. Wouldn't it be great if everybody wore bibs with all of their hidden differences? Like you'd see people running with a bib that said depression, or somebody that said anxiety, or somebody that said cancer survivor, or somebody that said, you pick it, Tourette's, or whatever it may be. But if we all shared our differences, we would all understand there is no such thing as sameness. All there is difference, and that's what brings beauty into this world. Pro tip number 4 for successful living with a hidden difference, and that is this. You are capable of absolutely everything and anything that anybody else is. You just need to do it differently. My personal experience, I like to run these 100-mile races in mountains on trails. I know that at some point in time, it's going to get dark and I'm going to have to run through the night. I need to do it differently in order to run that race. I enlist the help of a guide runner. I put that person in front of me. I make them wear reflectors on their ankles. I wear a very bright headlight to shine on those reflectors, and I use trekking poles. And I have my guide call out rock, route, step up, step down, stepping over water crossing, all of that type of stuff. I can run a 100-mile trail race and do very well. I just need to do it differently. So to recap today's lesson on hidden differences, everybody has them. We all have hidden differences. 4 feelings that we will encounter in living with our hidden difference are 1, confusion, 2, shame, 3, frustration, and 4, acceptance. And tips for success for living with a hidden difference. 1, understand how your difference makes you different. Number 2, embrace your difference. Number 3, proactively eradicate same shame. And number 4, you can do absolutely anything that you put your mind to despite your difference. You just need to do it differently. If you've liked this, please subscribe to my channel. If you want to find out more information about me, please go to my website, www.jasonromero.net. And until next time, onward.